3, 2, 1, 7. We're live.
Good morning, good afternoon. These are our Patreon form reviews. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Here. We've got a short list today. It's 7 people. If you're interested in these, the link for our Patreon is in the description below, and this is accessible to our $15 tier. And then you get access to our awesome Discord, which is actually pretty awesome. It's, for being a place one might consider internet, even though it's the app. What? Is it the internet? Is Discord part of the internet?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's an app.
Yeah, but it's also a website.
But it's also an app.
Yes.
For the internet, it's a pretty cool place.
Apps are connected to the internet. That's how they work.
Are apps considered the internet? For you people watching on playback, put your votes down below. Help us solve the world's greatest questions. All right, here we go. He's getting techie with it. I mean, all things considered, pretty decent. How could I have possibly considered all things? You see how you kind of flail and swing around here at the end? That's just an indicator that you didn't quite stop as well as you could have. Well, I gotcha. Left arm. Yeah, the left arm's getting in. There's like this sneaky, so now you've got to look at the whole like left unit basically. So left arm, good work. So when we pull in this left arm, this actually whole like left side, the left shoulder, the left hip, the left leg, all need to kind of stay here and not start spinning around a little bit. And so you've got your body going forward just a little bit too much. Try to keep that head back behind that plant as far as you can, basically, without being off balance. And then try not to have this like little squeak forward here with this left side. Instead, try to get these hips planted right here. When you go to plant, this is now where my hips are set for the throw. And they can move, after the follow through, but what you don't want is this left hip squeaking around into the throw and trying to kick out to the outside track here. Instead, when we coil, so we plant here, I'll use this line that we have. And so instead of having this left hip come around to the left side of this line, it kind of jams into the front hip almost, right? And yeah, we get some rotation here, we get some clearing of this right hip, but they're rotating here in place, not coming around like that. So if this left side, this all connects, because if this left side goes forward, whether that be the foot or the hip or the shoulder, it's going to start pulling everything out and around early, and you're not going to be as tight for as long. So So your form's at a really nice spot where you just need to stop just a little bit better and work on stopping completely and not bringing this trail side around. I'll just pull up 2 examples here. We'll go Simon first. Oh, I forgot my iPad hates being plugged into everything, so it's going to take a second. Okay, there it is. Doesn't hate it enough to let me get a sip of my coffee. All right, so from here, click, 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 and with every click up on the rooftop, Old St. Nick, all that jazz, the shoulder is moving forward here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, and so you get this trail shoulder going back. So the left arm's just a part of this equation, but we get here, and then boom, 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 boom. See how chill Simon's trail side is? If we give you guys the little stick figures, little Skeletor. So when this comes in, boop, this whole block of red here is hanging back. So we've got yours in, and then your block of red is sliding forward a bit too much. Yeah, so that's part of the, you're asking about this trail leg here, right? Being back behind the body. Let me find a, oh wow, it hates me. Come on, work with me here. Being back here. Right, throws over here, so the leg kicks over here as a counterbalance and to keep you from opening up. So it's very normal in high level form, super normal. Because what you're looking for is, I'm doing stuff over here, so this hanging back keeps me from just flailing around. Makes sense? Seems like from your comments it makes sense.
Norset is next. Figured a few today doesn't make much sense.
Gotta keep me organized with all these people.
Yeah.
Hey, all you guys that joined the first form review of the month, tell your friends who joined the second form review to jump in the first and that it's way cooler.
Some of the reviews are way better quality first.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Josh is just on point for the first ones. Gotta buff those up. So like 7 in the first one, 35 in the second one. Like, chill. So this position is probably the one that needs the most work. Where we've got the knees kind of like bowed out away from each other. In a collapsed pocket here. That'd be like when your biceps up against your chest here. So let's talk about what you should do in that position instead. This cone's where I'm not supposed to go past.
And the other one is the straight line to the camera if you're trying to show anything in the straight line.
Yeah.
You can move it if you want.
Not much room. Really, really tiny steps. Okay, so first I'd check with this step right here, your right step before this cross step. Might be a bit too forward for you. You might not be able to get through there without like having to turn your hips. Probably a little bit easier if this right step is almost perpendicular, somewhere around there. Some people even have it a little further back. Especially, it seems like all flexible kind of long throwers have that a little bit further back. But here, and then you go straight through here, and now once you're on your left, now it's time to turn back. So this whole last step here, forward, we've got to take our back and our butt, and we've got to turn them towards the target. So I'll just show it like this to make it real obvious. Right, so now my back's to the target, my chest is away from the target, and my butt is more towards the target. Now you're not going to get your hips as turned away as your shoulders are going to get turned away, but you're going to try to get close. So it's there. Now I've got my chest completely away from the target, and I've got my hips somewhere around here. So we've got this right step kind of perpendicular, and we've got this through step here, and then after you're balanced on your left foot, now we start turning, and we only turn for this final step. So it's only turning away from the target. It's not a turn away and then start turning forward, because that's going to get you this position again that you're in. Instead, it's just you already have space here. I'd set up space where between your bicep and your chest, it's more than 90 degrees, right? And so you can just go from here and turn, right? And with an extension, it looks like this. Boop. So just turning back as I step forward, but only turning back. This is the hard thing. People want to do extra bits in here, but it's only turning back. You kind of trust fall towards the target here, and from the behind view, it should look like this. Chest backwards, hips backwards. So, and then just check on yourself by here, boom. Okay, I'm good to go. I'm back. Now throw. So with the disc, the practice looks like this. Turning, good to go. Checking, throw. Hey, the first review of the month, when they're like this, I love seeing people added. Second review of the month, I hate seeing people added midstream. Here's like,
don't do Trevor's because he set the wrong link.
You're gone, Trevor. Get out of here, nub. Okay. Who was next? PCW then?
I think so, yeah.
Should let your hair down. Increase inertia coming into the shot. That sounds sciencey enough to be true. Tech disc. Tech disc is legitimately made virtual coaching much nicer. Okay. So I think here, this is probably too turned back with this back foot. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you coil, you've got a good coil, but also the disc is way behind you. Right, so if you keep that same coil and you just take your foot and instead of it being here, your setup is here instead, when you coil, the disc is going to be behind you, like clear, instead of wrap behind you like this. And your stagger is massive. So because you're trying to coil during this step, because you're trying to do the right things and your setup's just a little bit off. Show it from here. Right, if I go here and I'm back and I say, hey, I'm not going to open during the final step. Well, if I coil, now trying to throw there, my stagger's way that way, right? Or if I do it here, if I go here, I'm back, and now from here, I'm balanced and I coil, well, my stagger's massive across this line, right? So I'm definitely going to have to send the hand out and around super early. So instead, try to get that back foot no more than 45 degrees away. I mean, for you, it looks like it's probably 70 degrees back or something, right? So if you turn this whole setup, you go 45 here, you should still be good to go with your posture. And then if, when you do that, it's still behind you, then consider taking your backswing a little bit wider to make sure that you don't have to send the hand out and around. But I think probably with the footwork adjustment, you should be good. But also don't be afraid of like, okay, if I'm still for sure getting good coil, like you feel, okay, I'm loaded up here for sure. Like you feel, oh, my hip loaded, shoulders turned, I could feel the stretch, good to go, and it's still behind you, then just move that sucker over. This is one of those things where people are usually like, it was so simple of a fix, I'm mad I didn't see it sooner. But yeah, the whole, like it coming into your body here, your like swoop and all that you probably look at and you're like, oh, I hate it. Right? I'm not going to say it's going to go away with this foot turn here, but I wouldn't be surprised. What's PCW's? Numinosity. Sounds believable to me. Okay.
I'm getting Trevor's new one in right now. So if you want to delete his other Trevor T.
I already done did that.
Dude, man,
It's gone.
Didn't even doubt it for a second.
Okay, someone else said that they were here. Pocket looked good from Deadly Rage. Yeah, your pocket was fine. Yeah, and you'll be able to stay tighter. By the way, I am just remembering your form of you and reading up there. So, should I throw overstable or understable if I'm getting my taxes done? Well, it depends. Are they business or personal taxes? This is Trevor from Discord. Personal. Well, definitely understable. Yeah, this position's just not going to be strong. Yeah, you've got a bit of a lack of coil here. You see how you start your line already kind of like trying to leak this way? Which makes it hard for your disc to stay away from the body, and it's making it a little tougher for you to coil. But you can see here that you're like flared out. Knee, knee, foot, foot. Right, and you've got the pinch here, similar to our friend from before. Let's start with an in. So you get prescribed the same thing as homie from earlier. His name started with an N, just like there's an N and an E.
Nirvana.
Yeah, Nirvana. That was it. Okay. So you're walking with your move. Let me show a line first. You're kind of taking these first initial steps here, and you're already starting this way, right? Which makes the reason that that's a problem is if you cross over your line, in order to throw back to your line, your body's going to want to open up to get back on this line here. So sometimes when you work on this, it's helpful to start just working on the line first. So this step is down the line, and now we turn the butt to the target. Right. Forward, if I'm going to this cone, forward, and now turn the butt to the cone. I think the thing that the body doesn't like about this is that it can't see where it's stepping. But you have to kind of trust this. And this is that position where people talk about, oh, like knees together. Right, Loop Ghost would say this is the I gotta go potty stance. Right, and that's what you're looking for versus this, where it's, this town ain't big enough for the two of us. Step directly towards the cone with both of these, turn. And you should have lots of space. If you want to do it with a straight arm, do it with a straight arm to guarantee the space. So starting with more than 90, doesn't have to be much more, just a little more than 90. And turn. This is a unit. This is the old box drill feel of coil back. Right, and then throw. What questions do you have, Trevor? Who's winning Austin? Who's playing Austin? Hey guys, good morning from Jacksonville, Florida. Hey, we were there last year in the warmth, in the sunshine, teaching clinics. Just started playing. Been watching a lot of your videos, fam. Thanks for such great content. You're welcome. Yes, so Trevor, you've got to work on walking more directly to where you're throwing, and then on your final step, turning away from the target, and only turning away from the target. Right now, your stagger makes you, because you're walking this, if you walk like completely this way, of course you would feel like you're turned away from the target, which technically you are, but you're not coiled, right? You're sprawled out with the body. So you've got to walk forward and then turn to closed, not walk closed and don't turn. So let the stagger happen because you turn. Don't stagger. Who's next? Can I register intermediate tier for 1 month and get a form review? You can.
That is exactly what you can do.
That is exactly what you can do. Yeah. How do you submit a review, big dog? We have a link for our Patreon in the description below. My top half is kind of coiled, but my lower half is just kind of meh. Yeah, your lower half is definitely not coiled, and your upper half is like maybe half coiled. So, like if you want to feel coil for sure, I don't know that they can see, they can't see this door frame, can they?
Yes.
Yes, they can. Okay. I'll hold it here. All right. If you want to feel what coil is, you can just fall off of a door frame here, old sea bass style. Right. And let the weight twist your body back, right? And then bonus, let go and let your front foot catch you, and then your weight shifted. I feel like my form is too bad to submit a review. That is exactly the time that you need to submit a review.
That's hilarious. I feel like my form is too bad for a review. Yeah, form reviews are for actually showing off good form.
Yeah.
Some people I feel like actually do that.
I actually don't like reviewing good people's form because it's like, what do you want me to tell you?
Keep it up. Good job.
Yeah. I've been throwing for 3 months. I'm throwing 700 feet. I think I can get 750. Sick.
Send in a form review. You can all look at it.
How do you position your feet for that door frame drill? Well, I will admit that I'm not sure how the original one exactly goes. I shot a long time ago, but my foot is behind the wall, perpendicular, roughly. You can turn it back a little bit. It's however would be coming out of your X step, right? So it can be turned back a little bit, and then you just reach across with your lead hand behind you and fall forward. And you have to let your body turn. I've seen people do it like this, where they don't let their body turn, they just go, I'm doing it. It's like, no, the whole point is for this to go back. Okay, who else is here? I've only got 3 people. Time to start mowing through them, huh? I was pretty sure I saw Bradley on the Discord earlier today. I almost spilled that all over myself. You ever start pouring before your lips get to the mug? It's a thrill.
glute through.
All right. We're gonna go in reverse. Let's go from the middle. Andy Schaefer. You got it. It's timestamp, Mikey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Andy Schaefer.
Yep.
Sorry, I didn't realize that's what was being communicated, and now I do, and now I feel bad.
Boom. Does briefcase help with throwing down? For some people, it helps. It makes you roll. Okay. Let's see. He looks a little backwards here. Don't open up, my friend. He's going to. Yep, he did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can see that the hips, because of how backwards you are on this step. Whoa. Well, yeah, that is that step. I was trying to draw the arrow the other way, though. Whoop. How backwards you are here. Watch your hips go from, like, closed here. Horror. Oh, I broke it.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, we're back. Okay, so watch where the hips are at now. Whoop, whoop. You see him twist. By the time he gets shifted, now they're here, right? So they opened already. And since it was so far back, his hands already started to sweep in behind him here. Right, collapsing the pocket a bit. So similar to the last guy, you guys are finding out there aren't really that many issues in disc golf, right? But kind of similar to the last guy. That step's too far back. That last guy. He's not Trevor anymore, he's that last guy. Well, you guys don't know Trevor, really, right? Do you? So if I'm here, disc wants to naturally be behind me, right? Problem is I have to throw that way. So your hips want to open up. And when they open up, your arms pulling against your body. So either you have to collapse your pocket, which is where your arm hugs yourself, basically, or you have to start swinging forward early before you plant. Well, you're athletic enough to tell. Your body figured out that it's not beneficial for you to swing as you're planting, right? So it tried to stay back, which ended up hugging itself. So instead, get this left foot through this X step where it doesn't go 90 degrees back. Now you should be able to, what we're going for, so feel this with me, is just balance on your left leg, right? Just be solid on your left leg. Don't do it as a disc golf move. Just feel it. So this is where we're heading with the X step. We're heading to this position, right? This stable. You could feel your knee, if you're most balanced, is slightly bent so that your leg muscles can stabilize you. You're not straight up and down. You're not towards your heel, right? It's probably, if you feel inside your shoe, it's probably towards the front of your foot, mid/front of your foot here to be balanced, right? So that's where we're headed. So remember that. And then just get into that position via a cross step. So here, this is where we're headed. Doesn't have to be totally perpendicular, like I said. It can be a little bit back. But the goal is here, here, and hold. And from here, now we switch gears and we turn back the whole time, and we start our kind of disc golf trust fall. And we maintain this space back here. So from behind, it looks like we're here. And then this space that I have, I maintain it. I don't go there and move my arm back and pinch this angle off here. Right, that would be incorrect. This space, we maintain it. And then you can throw. So, summary, balance here without going too far back, and then turn from the target. And turn your chest away. Turn your butt towards the target. Turn your back towards the target. Chest and hips away from the target. Next is going to be Bradley B.
Maybe 36-3.
Does Nicolas Antila round? No, he does not. Are these two different shots or the same shot? Are they different discs? They are different discs. Are they different? They're the same day? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I figured that out when I saw different discs.
Oh, yeah.
What I was hoping was that he didn't like put on the same clothes both days and set up the camera exactly the same. And one was like a before and after. Because I'd be like, I don't know, bro. For some reason, this kind of reminds me of James River Park that we played.
Oh, bro.
The tee pads and the greenery are very similar. But they didn't have a line that was this clogged. Last time I reviewed this guy, it was from the side view, I think. Yeah, I think the stagger's a little bit exaggerated. Pulling the disc behind you more than it needs to be. I don't think you need to step quite as far out that way. And this like flailing around at the end is a, whoops. Just because that trail side's pushing still a little bit forward. But it kind of has to, right, because of how far the the stagger is. So if you step across the line that you're throwing, your body's going to have to start opening up more than you'd like for ideal form. So ideally, our walk-up line would be close enough to our throwing line where this doesn't have to start swinging around until after the disc is gone. So here, this would be an appropriate walk-up line right here. And then from there, I'm not over staggered, so I don't have to swing and twist this left side prematurely. Now, this can all just shift forward, right? Or mentally for me, it stays here. And then later you come around. So it's here, this stays. This being my left side. Left side stays. Right side swings. And then the left comes around. So, but you can only do that if you get rid of your exaggerated stagger. Buy tacos. Who was that?
New guy just signed up.
Sweet. So he's here then, yeah? I assume he's here.
Yeah.
So I should do his next.
Adam Sawyer.
Would you announce next time you're coming to Jacksonville? Yes. Yeah, our family, last year it was, I went down like ahead of time and ran some clinics in like Fort Lauderdale. And then the family met up, so it was my family and it was Dakota and his wife. They met us in Orlando, and I was teaching clinics and stuff. And then we went to I went Fort Lauderdale to Orlando to Jacksonville. So, but Jacksonville, I think, made the do not return list. It was just a very small turnout in reference to the other ones, and was not quite as nice as Orlando was, unfortunately.
Jacksonville's bad. Orlando was so great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was tough for Jacksonville with this coming from Orlando, because we had this Airbnb that was like on a like small, would you call it a resort, Dakota?
Little mini resort.
Yeah, don't think like fancy resort, but it was nice. Yeah, it had a very chill environment. Yeah, it was like $89 a night or something crazy. It was great. So okay. Yeah, so similar deal here. So we've got to get you postured correctly on this left leg. You see how you're coming off the left heel there. You're kind of rocked back towards your heels. Makes it tough to coil properly. Right, you've got this position here where the hips are already locked out. Not that we're trying to like really go, you know, Elvis with the hips or anything, but they need to be in a position where they're strong and they're able to do the things that they need to do. And so if you feel, if you're here and you flare your toes out and you sit towards your heels and you try to do anything, you feel that one, you're off balance, and two, you just don't have a lot of room to move here. And generally when you're not on balance and your body's locked out, it doesn't like to throw a disc very quickly. It feels like, oh, this is grounds to hurt myself if I try to move this thing quickly. So we're gonna just balance first on this left foot. Should be pretty solid here, almost like you're getting ready to do like a pistol squat or something. Not that I can show you that because I can't, but I can show you. I'd end up on the floor. There. There's my pistol squat. But balanced here, strong, right? We're going to need good posture here, which is going to be our butt's going to be sticking out a bit. Knees are bent. We've got this kind of the eyes, nose over toes. Just another loop ghost phrase there that makes the mix. Right. So we're in this very athletic position. So from here, what we want to do is turn this whole unit back. So take your chest, turn it backwards. Right, and the position that we're going to is something where you're able to move quickly, right, which is the opposite of this, right? This is, I don't know what this is. It's not athletic, right? But we want to get, if we're going to do a cut, you know, any kind of return, tennis, volleyball, right, setting up in football, right, somewhere where, okay, we're getting ready to move. Soccer as a striker. So here, and just practice turning. Here, turning. So now my chest is turning back, right? So I'll focus, okay, chest turning back, good. Chest turning back, good. All right, what about the hips? Hips turning back, good. Hips turning back, good. All right, all this done during this step, and it's going to get us to this very strong position. Same thing. We're going to do it straight arm first, so we don't have to focus on the extension here. Here, turn. Turn. Right, just maintaining this space here between the arm and the body, so it's not this. Right, this is obviously not a turn. The most important thing is that the shoulders going back. This gives your body lots of room to swing, lots of room to move the disc through. Yep, and then you work to get into those positions, right, through the rest of your walk up. So I would start here from the left and eventually work to this and throw from there. And then you can try to get into that same left position with the walk up. Here's my X, boom. In this position that we were just working from, we're trying to get there again. And now we continue with the turn, throw. Questions? Besides New London, what is a must-play course near you? Swinging by in the beginning of May. I mean, if you're at New London, I always recommend Falling Creek, especially if you're trying to play 2 in one day, because Falling Creek is a lot more open than New London and a bit more enjoyable. So New London's like, let's go get schmacked.
You want to go get schmacked today?
I was just thinking maybe we should.
We should. We totally should.
Good day to get smacked by New London.
Yeah, I haven't.
I'm feeling personal best.
Yeah, me too.
I would be.
Good as I would be.
I'm just right now, man.
Yeah.
I think it was right. I set 2 records last week.
Yeah, you guys are both playing great.
Chocolate wasted.
I just had to play for the game.
Okay, so Sawyer Paul is here. Okay, so you've worked right arm stuff. So I'm going to give you one thing that's 2 steps. So right now your left side is all you've got everything moving forward, right? And it's moving forward and this is trying to just keep going. Right, so you've got this, both arms and the left leg all going, and the only thing that stopped really is the right leg, right here. We've got to get this trail side still, right? So the visual, or a visual for this, is this right side goes, but by the time this left arm gets tucked, now the left side is staying tight to the body. It's not moving forward anymore, right? So we don't want everything to just go right and end up past this. It's probably the most helpful way to feel this is to grab something sticky and just swing this with your lead arm. Let me clear my swinging area here just to make sure. I'm still going to find a way to hit something, but so just swing this here, right? And you should feel, okay, instead of a 2-hand swing, where this backside wants to come forward, just only swinging the lead arm. And feel how passive this trail side is. Right, in order to swing the stick, you don't need both hands to go with it. You don't need the left hip to go with it. Part of letting the lead arm go on its own is making sure that the trail side, your left side, doesn't go forward. Right, so feel that, take that same feeling. Here. Right, and then eventually work that into the backswing where both arms go back. I'm kind of like tapping this when it gets tight, so it's kind of a swing, smack, swing, and that's just because it's getting tight to the body, almost as if the left arm wants to go with the right arm, but it gets stopped. So when we throw, we don't want this left side continuing to go around. It's just Here, left side stays. And then once I get here and my right can't really go any further, then it picks up the left side to take with it. So it's right arm swing while the left stays, and then left arm swing. So it goes swing, 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 swing. Right? Or you can go here if you want to do more of the modern pull. They all work. I have this other issue with my left side where it pushes down literally too much. Yeah, it's important that this left move is an in move, not a down move, right? So don't think of it as punching down, right? We're not trying to create this seesaw effect here, right? It's just in. So the arm's here, and then it's going to go in, forward with the lead arm. We just don't do this. Right? We let it drop as it goes forward. But forward and tight to the body is the goal. And the down is a byproduct. All right, Mikey.
Yo.
Bob Mack.
Bob Mack.
33.
33. My man.
He must be 33 years old. He must have 33 discs. Wait. Maybe he owns 33 houses. This guy's a architect or something. Look at all these. He's building a whole, like, community.
Something.
It's got roads and everything, dude.
Is it not Lego?
Is it Lego?
I don't know. Typical Lego setup.
I am no
You
expert.
ever seen a Lego movie?
No, I haven't. I am not one of those people that's good with my, like working with my hands. Like, oh, I'll be a carpenter. Not this guy. Okay. Let's watch it again. Okay, first thing. Don't have the wrist curled up like this. It needs to be slightly curled the opposite way. So we don't want it flared out like that, slightly curled this way. Even if you have to, air quote, lock it slightly curled, that's better than having it locked out here, right? So slightly curled. The nice thing about, the briefcase back here is you can have it curled and loose. So that's thing one, because that's going to affect pull through stuff down the road. Okay. Thing two, this starting position, like with the lower body and all that's not bad. Right now, your head is like pulling the shot around. See how the head is forcing shoulder turn? Yeah, so your head's creating this pull effect on the body, right? And your hand's just kind of left out to spin around like this. I'm exaggerating, of course, but this effectively is what you're doing is by whipping the head around, you're basically dragging everything out to the outside, which is a very like send the hand out and around rotation, but we want the hand to kind of cut through, right? So the head gets turned back with the shoulders. So when we go to coil, this shoulder is going to kind of steer the head back, right? The head should just be very natural. I'm walking this way. Like when I turn my shoulders, my head naturally goes that way. If I'm walking towards you guys, my head will naturally be kind of centered up in the shoulders, right? So if my shoulders go back here, now my head wants to go back, right? So instead of the head dragging this forward, if we start moving the arm and the shoulders start moving forward, then the head's going to follow them kind of forward, right? And it's going to hang out somewhere along the middle if we're being loose with it. You can feel if you're like tensing or pulling with the head, right? If you just kind of isolate that in your brain. So here, as we start moving the lead arm forward, right, the shoulders are going to turn. Now my head has moved forward, and since here I'm not just continuing to crank the shoulders forward, you'll see pros kind of around here. All right, so Drew's kind of still here. Simon's head, as his chest goes forward, his head kind of goes around the hip. That's where his eyes kind of go. And then when you get into the follow through and this right shoulder starts pulling this left around, well, that starts leaning the head upward. Right, so on the backswing, the shoulders push the head back, guide it back. Forward swing, as the shoulders move forward, the head stays kind of neutral. And then eventually this left shoulder starts coming forward and your head, again, wanting to stay neutral, goes with it. So what do we do from back here then? We're here. I would recommend just trying to throw from here. Just moving the arm, your lead arm forward, and leaving the head kind of back. Not forcing it back, but just letting it. If you leave your head here and you throw this way, it will move forward naturally as long as you're not forcing it to stay back. So get here and then feel what it's like to force the body to come around with the head, and then feel what it's like just to leave the head back here. Picking something back here with your eyes is not a bad thing either. Making sure you get coiled back. So we've got like a box on a table in the other room. That's kind of where my eyes want to go. Here, and I'm just going to keep my eyes on it and let them get pulled forward from it. So, shoulders back, find something kind of with your eyes, and then the thought here is not twist forward with the head. The thought is swing the arm. Swing the arm forward and let the head go where it wants to go. Bean. All right, ask your questions. Blitz says I'm going to come up there this year and get smacked, I think. Yep. New London's good for it.
Hey, should we do a Patreon meetup for Worlds?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, we definitely should do like meet up at the big field we shoot videos on, and have like a throwing day with something potentially.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be during. I think it's during our partnership. Anyways, just hang out, really.
Yeah.
Play this golf, hang out. I'm sure we'll have a decent amount of people.
Yeah, we should run a little summit, Sandy, with just like open to subscribers.
Exactly.
And then we can do some special for patrons in town.
Yep.
Well, nobody has questions. The Open in Austin isn't 4 days, is it? It's 3, right?
It's 3.
Yeah, starts Friday
Okay.
or tomorrow.
I'm like, hey, I don't blame them if they're watching Open in Austin right now.
Looks like you can blame them.
Okay, well, peace then, if nobody's here. Adios. Thanks.